Welcome everyone. Another fresh morning. After a long time, I am Somiranjan Nayak as Professor in Mechanical Department at BIT. I was continuing the braking system, the previous classes. The second classes of braking system, we're going to discuss about the component of braking system. The component of a braking system means what are the different type of accessory parts, what are the different type of components, or what are the different type of parts that resembles to form a complete braking system. There are different type of braking systems components which I will discuss one by one. They are brake pedal, fluid reservoir, fluid lines, brake pads, brake shoes, brake drums, and any others are there which I am going to explain in further. So now from the first component of the braking system, that is brake pedal, I am going to explain about it. The brake pedal, the component of a brake system, is used to activate the brake by pressing it down by the foot. It located in the middle of the accelerator and the clutch pedal inside the vehicle. That means in the brake pedal, what's happened? Brake pedal are where it is located first. The brake pedal is located in the between the accelerator and between the clutch pedal. In the four-wheeler vehicle, between the accelerator means in the middle. In the middle of the arrangement of the accelerator and the clutch pedal, in the middle there is a brake pedal. That is the location, physical location of a brake pedal. Brake pedal means is a physical component. It is a fast component in the braking system in which a driver can able to push that or give a pressure or give a force on that brake pedal, in which the initiation of the system will started from that brake pedal system. That is the initiate part when the driver required to or need, at the time of need, the driver or the vehicle rider will be put or the foot on that place or the pressure the externally on the brake pedal. The braking system start the functioning on that initiate part of the brake pedal. It is located in the between the accelerator and the clutch pedal. Next is fluid reservoir. Fluid reservoir means the fluid reservoir is a housing where the brake fluid or brake oil is stored. As I already discussed that the brake are different types in the previous classes. So in the different types, there is a hydraulic type of braking system in which there is a fluid is the main important part in the running of the braking system. So in that type of hydraulic braking system, fluid reservoir is a mandatory component where the fluid is stored in it. The fluid, which type of fluid? That is DOT fluid, that is a DOT. Okay, Department of Transportation. DOT, the full form of DOT means Department of Transportation. They choose the particular fluid, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. The fluid are there, dot 1, dot 2, dot 3. Generally dot 3 fluid and the dot 2 fluid are used, but generally in the market dot 3 fluid are used are the fluid reservoir or the brake fluid. That fluid are present in the fluid reservoir where the fluid gets stored in it. From that reservoir, the fluid get transmitted through the different type of line, that is fluid line. Okay, from the reservoir, the fluid is there when the driver press the brake pedal at that time in the hydraulic braking system, because this is not a component of a particular braking system. It is a component I am explaining about the all type of braking system. Okay, it is not a particular type of braking system I am going to explain about it. Okay, so in all the braking system, fluid reservoir present in the hydraulic braking system. Now hydraulic braking system, what happened in the fluid reservoir, the fluid gets stored in it. Okay, that is the housing of the brake fluid. When the driver press the pedal, at that time the fluid is just transmit from the fluid reservoir through the fluid lines. Fluid lines means what? The fluid lines are the lines through which the brake fluid flow in the vehicle. These are the lines through which, or the passage or the canals, whatever you can able to say according to your understanding. It is just the passage, it is just the line, or it is just the arrangement in which the fluid is get transmit from the fluid reservoir into the braking system or into the wheel of the axle part. Next is brake pad. Brake pad means what? Brake pad is a steel back. Okay, is a steel backing plate employed on the disc brake. It often made up of ceramic, metal, other hard wearing composite material. Especially in a disc braking system or in a disc brake type, what happen? Brake pad is a metallic component are there which is get arranged, okay, which is get arranged or fixed in the disc brake type system. Okay, this is known as the brake pad. Is a steel backing plate employed. This steel backing plate means just behind the disc plate there is another brake pad which is connected to the reservoir of the fluid, reservoir fluid lines, that means of brake pad, which often the ceramic made up of ceramics and also hard wearing composite material. Next is brake shoe. Brake shoe means what? There is a two piston type still joined together, so carry the brake lining in it. Okay, brake shoe means is just like a horseshoe type, or maybe certain type in the disc system. In a hydraulic brake, it is just like a piston type, or we can say in the means of disc system is also piston type. But in mechanical braking system, okay, in a mechanical braking system, generally the mechanical braking system or the drum brake system, the brake shoe are just like horseshoe type. Okay, it's a horseshoe type, the brake shoe, in which the brake shoe is, in which there is a brake lining. In a brake shoe there is a brake lining or a friction pad will be there that attached to the axle of the wheel to stop the vehicle. That is known as brake shoe. Brake shoe is just connected by means of the braking system lining, and that brake shoe containing the brake lining, that the friction lining over it or on it, that used to, when the brake is just pressed, the brake shoe just converts or come contacted into the axle, the brake lining is connected into the axle, the speed of the vehicle is reduces. When the brake is released, at that time it is just away from the axle, the vehicle will be again forward motion or in the motion condition. Brake drum. Brake drum is a drum which is get attached by means of the axle. The axle is rotated. At the time the brake drum is rotated. It is a drum shape like component which is used in drum brake system. In a drum brake system, brake shoe is there. There is a brake drum is there, and also there is brake lining are there, or the friction line. Brake lining is otherwise known as the friction lining. Okay, it is only there in the drum brake type system. Okay, so that means what? In this phenomenon, I am going to explain. I just explain about this fluid reservoir full line, which is present in the hydraulic braking system. Brake pedal is common for all the braking system, whereas brake shoe, brake drum, brake pads are there in hydraulic, and also the brake shoe and the brake drum are present in the brake drum or mechanical brake system. Okay. In the further, there is also different components. In the further part, there is a rotor. Okay, the further parts of the component of the braking system are is rotor. The rotor is a cast iron brake disc. Cast iron means the material in which the rotor is get made up of, connected to a wheel or axle, sometimes made up of reinforced carbon ceramic material or some other composite. Rotor means what is happening? It is a brake disc connected to a wheel or axle. Okay, it is a brake disc type. Means what happened in a disc system or in a disc braking systems? What happened? First there is a rotor. In the rotor, after the rotor there is a drum type. Okay, that is a disc drum type, because in the previous I just explained over here, in the previous there is a brake pad. Okay, there is a brake pad. So in brake pad is get arranged in by means of a rotor. There is a rotor, there is a brake drum. These are connected by means of axle. When axle is rotated, at that time rotor will rotate, drum will rotate, the brake pad rotate, brake lining, brake shoes rotate, and the brake lining or the fluid reservoir. In the fluid reservoir in hydraulic system, but in generally disc system, what happened? Rotor is there, rotor connected to means of brake pad, the brake pad connected by means of the fluid reservoir, fluid containing the that brake cylinder type, piston type, means that is the brake shoe type. In the brake shoe type lining are there, they just fix over it, whereas the braking system is arranged or connected. Then next is brake lining, which I already discussed. Brake lining, otherwise known as the friction lining or the friction part of the brake shoe, is a heat resistant type. Heat resistance means it is the part of the braking system which is directly get connected or directly get attached to the axle of the wheel. That means this attachment is maybe increases the heat in the system. That means it is a heat resistance. The maximum amount of heat is get generated, is get also absorbed by means of brake lining. It is a very soft but also tough material, and with a high friction characteristics, it enclosed inside the brake shoe. That already I discussed. Enclosed inside the brake shoe or the lining in the on the brake shoe. That means it control and absorb the heat that is produced during the connected of the wheel of the brake axle to the by means of the brake shoe. Next is piston. This piston is only present in a hydraulic braking system. In hydraulic braking system, this piston arrangement present in hydraulic braking system is a moving component containing by means of a cylinder. Okay, because piston is there for the movement or to transmit the fluid with the means of pressure during the engage or disengage of the brake system when there is a fluid phenomenon taking place in the system. When there is a fluid phenomenon in the system of brake is known as hydraulic system. Then is caliper. Caliper carries the brake pad and piston. Caliper is just a accessory arrangement where it's just arranged by means of a brake pad and piston. It is just an accessory component. We just carry the brake pad and also piston in it. It is just the arrangement. Floating caliper or a sliding caliper means there is two type of caliper. One is floating caliper, another one is fixed caliper. Floating caliper or sliding caliper means the part moves relatively to the means of rotor. When the rotor is rotate at that time with respect to the motion of the rotor, the caliper is rotated. At that time the brake pad piston will rotate. The single side pushed inner brake pad to the connected or disengage of the brake. It is a pull of the caliper to apply the pressure inside the opposite disc. What happened in a floating slide? What happened? Floating means what? When it is just change the motion by means of motion of the rotor. The respective caliper rotation or respective caliper movement depend upon the rotor movement. Okay, the rotor movement with respect to the caliper movement, it is just arranged in such a way that it just encloses or disencloses the brake system during the time of the need. That is why it is known as floating caliper or a sliding caliper. But a fixed caliper are those caliper with respect to the rotor motion. The fixed caliper is not get rotated with the means of rotor motion, which work sensitive imperfection means a single pair of opposing piston clamp for each slide. That means it is a single pair opposite system when the floating caliper used for the double part. Okay, when a double in the hydraulic system, when the double disc type of system is used, the floating caliper used. When you require for the one side braking system, at that time we use the fixed caliper. Fixed caliper name comes because it never rotate or never changing its movement with respect to the rotation of the motor or the rotor. Okay, next the next component of the braking system are master cylinder and the vacuum booster. Okay, master cylinder means what? The master cylinder convert the non-hydraulic pressure from the driver foot into the hydraulic pressure. That means what? Master cylinder is the work of the master cylinder means when a vehicle driver push the brake pad or with the brake pedal. Okay, at that time what happened? The working of master cylinder is that convert that pressure of the vehicle, that is the non-hydraulic pressure. Okay, because there is no fluid at that times. Okay, that convert this non-hydraulic pressure into the hydraulic pressure which is transmitted to the fluid, which means master cylinder only present in that type of braking system where there is a hydraulic braking system or the disc brake system are used. Master cylinder only used where there is a disc brake system or there is a hydraulic braking system. So at that time what happened? First, when the brake pedal get pushed or by the driver, at that time that pressure, that force is converted into the hydraulic pressure and force transmitted to the fluid reservoir through the fluid line to the brake shoe and brake lining, brake drum, and finally to the brake lining to connected or the engage or disengage of the brake. So that is the way in which the master cylinder work in it. Okay, it is controlled by the slip cylinder opposite end of the hydraulic system. It is written that there is a hydraulic system is particularly there is a hydraulic system. Okay, it is generally used in two parts, that is in a disc system also and hydraulic system also. Next, there is a vacuum booster. This braking system component is used to improve the master cylinder and increase the pressure to which the driver or the food supplier to the use of vacuum in the engine intake, the effective while the vacuum engine is running. That means what happened? We can able to notice that when vehicle is running, there is a air or there is a vacuum which is get developed during the starting of the vehicle. The vehicle just get rest about 2 minutes when the vehicle gets start, because that air intake, that vacuum during the starting of the vehicle, it increases the effectiveness of brake which used for the master cylinder to increases the effectiveness of the brake in the complete braking system. That means the air which are present inside the brake lining or inside the engine intake of the air, the vacuum which are created inside the engine or the lining of the braking system, that vacuum is used by means of vacuum booster to boost the effectiveness of the brake by the help of the master cylinder. That is the use of the vacuum booster. These are the component which are there over here. This one is the brake pedal where the driver is fast push it. It is the outer side between the clutch and the accelerator part. Okay, this one is fasteners. Fasteners means anything that is going to get connected by means of these two individual components. That is what is known as fasteners. Then is hose. Okay, hose means where there is a connectivity of the fluid. When there is a hydraulic system, there is a hose which is flow of the lining through this brake pipe. This is a brake pipe through which or brake line or brake pipe or fluid line where the fluid get move or supply in it in hydraulic system. Next, this one is brake assistant. When there is brake get fail at the times, what happened? This brake assistance, the function of this brake assistance is to maintain the effectiveness of brake during the time of the failure of the brake. Next is master cylinder. I already discussed now. This is the master cylinder over here. How it is work? This is I already discussed now. It is work to just convert the non-hydraulic pressure into the hydraulic pressure and to increases the better braking system. Next is there is ABS or brake caliper. Next go for here. I will discuss about this ABS. This is the latest version of the brake system. This is the brake pad. Okay, this is the brake pad. Okay, in the brake pad means brake pad. What happened in the brake pad? It just contained about the piston. Okay, it contain what? It contain about the piston in the hydraulic braking system. It containing the piston as well as the caliper. The caliper, this brake caliper and the piston, they get connected by means of this brake pad. Okay, and this one is the brake caliper. Okay, that is the floating caliper I already discussed now. Floating caliper, fixed caliper, by means of rotor it is rotate, or by rotor it is get fixed. Okay, one sided or two sided braking system it is used, and it is get adjust or get assembled by means of this help of brake pad. And over this brake pad there is a brake lining, brake shoe, and brake shoe even the brake lining. Then is this one is a brake disc. In the further, when I discuss each and every type of braking system, I will discuss about this disc brake system details, how it is work. And this one is a complete disc. Okay, the disc system. Okay, this one is a drum. The inner part is drum, the outer part is a disc. This one, the ABS sensor and ABS unity, is the latest part of the braking system. This is not the earlier the ABS system is not used, but in the modern civilization, in the modern vehicle development, this ABS plays very important, come into the contact. It is the anti-braking system. The ABS full form means anti-braking system unity, anti-braking system sensor. It is work as electrical sensor as well as mechanically. These two things work. This ABS sensor means it act as electrically. Okay, it give the sensor sensing input into the ABS unity, and ABS unity work as means of mechanically. This is the electrical and mechanically dependability work in the braking system, which I will discuss during the type of the explanations of the types of braking system. At that time, I will explain about what is the ABS system in the details. Okay. Up to it, you just able to understand ABS is an effective braking system where there is no skidding will be takes place. It is just control the steering, braking, and skidding. The three things will get controlled and managed effectively by this new development ABS unity and sensor. Okay. In the next, there is a diagram of the braking system. This one is a axle. Okay, this one is the vehicle axle. That the four axle are there. In the axle, there is the lining where the brake system act. Okay, this red color is where the braking system is act. One thing you should remember, the braking system should always act on the brake axle, not on the tires. Tires is different thing. The tires not get connected by means of any braking system. The braking system always attached to the axle. When axle stop, automatically the tire also gets stopped rotation, because in the axle there is a wheel, in the wheel there are over the tires. So what happened over here? This one is the master cylinder. Okay, the master cylinder work to enhance the pressure from the brake pedal. From the master cylinder, the fluid get transferred by means of in the backward side by means of the residual valve and adjustable proportional valve. According to the fluid get transmitted into the wheel, that amount of fluid get transmit through the master cylinder by means of residual and adjustable proportional valve. Means when there is a returning of the fluid. Okay, when there is a returning of the fluid after disengage of the brake, this residual valve containing the fluid or returns the fluid. That's why it is one of the residual valve. Okay, next, from this backward, the fluid lining or the fluid get transmitted into it. In the rear wheel, there is a flex lining or the T joint. As it's a T fitting or T joint, it's a flex line where the fluid get transmitted into the rear wheel of the vehicle. In the front wheel, similarly, there is a combinations valve and residual valve. In the both, there is a residual valve is control the flow of the fluid. Next, there is a metering valve. Metering valve means control the amount of same fluid get transmitted into the two axle similarly. Okay, that does not means the amount of braking system should be equally get placed or equally get effective by means of both the wheel. It does not mean the left wheel will be fast brake or the right wheel will be the next 1 second or 2 seconds it brake. No, if you go for the braking system, the wheels would be get stopped simultaneously, the four wheels should be stopped. If you break the four wheel system braking system, full braking system means the four wheels will be stopped directly, or if you want to stop the front axle, the front axle should be stopped, means of both the axles stop simultaneously, the rear axle should be stopped simultaneously. That is the system. In the braking system, the metering valve play important role. Next, there is the flex lining, is just a joints over here, and this is a complete system of the braking. This is a flywheel engine over component over here. Okay, so this is automatically braking system which we are here we are only a fluid or hydraulic type of there, and also automatic type of their braking system. Overally, one of the symmetric diagram. In the further classes, I will discuss about each and every braking system details. Okay, each and every braking system in the further classes I will discuss, that is mechanical, hydraulic, air, servo, vacuum, disc, anti-lock braking system. Each and every brake system in the next class I will discuss very details. Okay, for that purposes, watch my video for the further classes. Up to 8 the component of the vehicle is over. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for my next video, that is each and every braking system. I will start the braking system by means of mechanical drum braking system. This mechanical drum braking system I will carry out in the next classes. Up to 8. Thank you very much.